the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
We're recording. Officially started the podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some really high-tech conversations about green things.
Yeah, we
Like
are.
peas and beans
Only green
and
things.
grass.
It's not an environmental podcast. We just talk about green things. Like the Hulk and Shrek
And turtles.
and frogs.
And that apple I ate yesterday.
It was a little green.
Little bit. And your face.
And your person driving the car who has a green face is like, wow.
That's personal.
That's very personal.
Why are you making fun of my face? We're not making fun of your face, sir.
We're not. You're a green...
Sir or madam.
Sir or madam, you are a green person, and we only talk about green things on the show.
So we're talking about you.
We're like the #1 green podcast, and people are like, wow, so you cover like Earth stuff? And we're like, no, I mean, not really. We just cover things that are green.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog is really good, yeah.
He's very popular.
Very popular. We talk about him a lot, actually.
Yeah, salads.
Salads.
Yeah,
we talk about salads.
Talk about salads. We're big on those. Yeah.
Big on salads.
Only a portion of the rainbow.
Yes, only the most important part of the rainbow.
Yeah.
We only talk about green crayons.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about trees.
Veronica's microphone.
Veronica's microphone cap.
The wall behind you guys.
Yes. The wall behind us. Oh,
you guys can see the wall, but that's right. Everybody who watches the show, which is like 0% of our audience.
Yes,
nobody
I know,
watches
I know.
it. I think we gotta upgrade our video experience.
Absolutely, and I only think it's because like there is a lot of beauty in one of us, but both of us at the same time on the screen.
I think it's too much.
It's too much. People scream when they're just like, oh my god.
We thought about turning the camera on to Veronica.
Yeah.
And we were like, if we do that,
I mean,
it'll break the
YouTube will break.
Yeah, it will.
They'll go.
We can't handle that kind of beauty.
No.
Yeah.
I can't handle that
Can't
kind of
do it.
beauty. Yeah. No, it's interesting because if you've been with us since 2019, 1823.
1823.
Back in 1823, when we first started the show, we've explored a few formats on this show, and in the early days, we had 2 iPhones running, one on Noel, one on me, and then we would do this like cut back and forth footage. But that was it took up a lot of time to get that done. So we decided, let's streamline this. Let's make it a lot easier because we got a million other things that we're doing at the office. But now we're beginning to think maybe it's time to find a way to do some cool editing and video tricks to really make it pop, right? Pop. We want to pop. Topping content. If you're gonna do top quality content, you gotta make it pop. Yes.
No, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right, and I'm wrong.
You know what?
I just want to say that out loud.
Okay. I'm going to take that soundbite and put it on my phone.
Yeah. That's it. Every time his phone rings, you're right, and I'm wrong.
That's my ringtone. That's my ringtone for when Noel calls. How's everybody feeling today?
Good.
Yeah? Feeling great? I'm feeling great.
Nice and warm.
Yeah, your mic's a little far. You got to come in.
You should turn it towards
okay.
your mouth. And that way you don't have to stretch to get it. Why don't you want it in front of you?
I feel
what is Veronica?
I feel like Veronica, every week I'm like, hey, you have to get. So one of the things about your microphone is it's different than ours. Not to make your microphone feel inadequate. But these are like specifically like they're gonna catch all the sound. Yours is like a one that you could travel with. You could do a rock concert with. It's like the heavy duty, hard hitting microphone. So it's not built to capture your voice like really well unless you're directly in front of it.
Yeah.
Nice and warm.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
That's what we're looking for. But see, if you turn the microphone like right now, it's hilarious.
She's literally going like...
She's got a microphone that's 7 feet away from her face. And she turns us to turn away from it. Like it's on a...
Just move it.
Yeah. No, she'd rather move herself. She'd rather travel.
She won't do it.
She'd rather travel all the way around the room to put her face in front of the microphone than just turn the microphone. She's so easy to do.
She's an anti-mic.
And here you and I are with these fancy microphones that catch our voice no matter what. And we still directly in front of her. We're directly in front of her.
Directly in front of her face. I will not.
I can't. I don't know. I don't know what to do about Ronnie. I don't know.
That's the title of a film, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about Ronnie. This fall on NBC. It's Ronnie. She does. Well, one thing we would know would happen in that show is she'd bump into everything.
Oh my God.
There would be so many like sight gags of her running into doors, tripping into something.
Yes.
We adore her. She is the queen, but she is a klutz. Boy, oh boy, is she a klutz.
She is, which is hilarious.
All the more endearing.
Because she's so expert at getting things done. Like she's very efficient and like gets on the just like right on the ball, getting the things done. Yeah. It's all handled in order, very organized.
She's wonderful. We love her.
Anytime you need, like, if I need a set of documents to read through, not only do I have the documents, but they're like clipped together based upon like which ones I have to look at which time with arrows that point to do this one first and this one. Like, it's very, very intelligent, efficient, incredible woman.
Absolutely.
But there is not a doorway she hasn't run into.
No. And I think it's just because that brain is like really focused on getting the job done. Yeah. And so it just is like, we don't need to worry about where that door frame begins or ends.
That's not important.
Not important at all.
That's a brick on the ground? Let's trip on it.
Let's trip on it. Yeah. And so the show, I don't know what to do with Ronnie.
Yeah.
I want that show now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But the funny thing is it would be one of those shows, like kind of like Ray Romano. You'd get Veronica to play Veronica. You don't get an actress. She is the star of the show.
Absolutely.
And you surround her with just a strong, solid cast. But the draw of the show is that it is really you.
It's actually
we don't go cast somebody to play you. It's got to be you.
No. Nobody can play Ray Romano.
Yeah, right? No. Well, you could get Kermit the Frog, and it might be pretty good. Oh my God, what would be so good? And then I promise we'll get to the subject. But I was going to say what would be so good about that show is the person running the script. I'm picturing this like filmed in front of a live studio audience, like kind of that 100%. Vibe for sure. Yeah. And the person on the script is like, I don't remember writing a trip there. And he'd be saying that, and the person would be like, no, they just happen.
Don't worry about that.
We don't even worry about
improvising.
We don't even worry about writing them in the script. They just happen.
Yeah. Why did you write trips in the script? They're natural.
They're gonna happen. We say this out of affection, right?
You guys are awesome.
Okay. We want the audience to know that we're teasing her in a very affectionate way. Yeah. So. Anyway,
well, she's the best in the office.
She is. Oh, she's superior.
Don't let the constant clumsiness fool you.
Yeah. In fact, that's just one of the more endearing qualities about our Ronnie.
I think it's if she didn't run into things and cause damage to her body.
Yeah,
I think that she almost would be too perfect.
Too perfect. Right. She's got it. There's got to be. The Lord said, like, you gotta put a lack of equilibrium in here somewhere.
It was that you can't have everything ruled.
Yeah. Can't have everything.
You can't have everything.
Yeah.
We gotta make her a klutz.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, well, I'm glad everybody's doing great, and the microphone is still miles away from her face, and we can get going. Guys. They say it's your Earth Day. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da. It's my Earth Day too.
Body boo boo
boo boo boo boo boo. So
it's Earth Day.
It is. This will air the day before Earth Day. Will. When you're listening to this, Earth Day is tomorrow. This is notoriously the most famous month, April, for environmental awareness, acknowledgement, and so we are going to not only talk about Earth Day, but I have a quiz, and we're going to take it live on the show.
Do you know the answers?
I have them ready.
But you don't know them.
I don't know the answers. I don't know the answers.
Fantastic.
So I basically just printed something up.
Airplane mode.
So I'm going to read without, I printed up the document, and I have it highlighted the answers, for me, but I have not looked at what each thing is.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to read the question best I can without taking a look.
Okay.
And then we're going. Oh, that's not the paper I was looking for. So anyway, but before we get to the quiz, it is I think it's the 53rd Earth Day. This has been going on since 1970.
Wow.
Okay, it's been going on a long time. And one of the things that's important to talk about when you talk about Earth Day, and if people don't know this, and this is your first time listening to the podcast, it's important that you listen up right now.
Right now.
Because this is not talked about enough.
No, talk about it more.
But there is a legend that begins on Earth Day every year.
Uh-huh.
And in some ways, it's bigger than Santa. It's bigger than the Easter Bunny. It's bigger than any holiday. And yet it's been kind of lost through time.
Yeah.
Because it's so ancient.
Such ancientness.
Ancientness of this magical being. And if you know, you can say it with me right now. You know, we're talking about Mustachio Bristlecone. See? The legend of Mustachio Bristlecone. So right now, if you're scratching your head and going, that's weird.
Wait, I've never heard of that.
Never heard of Mustachio Bristlecone. We are here to enlighten you.
I can't, you know what? I can believe that you don't know who it is.
I can believe it.
But in some ways I can't believe it. Because how could he have fallen so far down the pantheon of
big business?
Business.
They're trying to squash
legends.
it. Yeah, no, I was going to say big business trying to squash it. They're trying to hide it.
Because they hate the environment.
Yeah, they hate the environment. They're the concrete industry. I don't know, like the fluorescent light industry. They don't want you to go be with trees.
Yes.
So they're like, squash it.
Yes, squash the tree.
Erase Mustachio Bristlecone from history.
Yes.
Yes. So if you're asking yourself, what is it?
Tube Light Bob.
Tube Light Bob.
That's who they want to celebrate.
That's right. Celebrate Tube Light Bob. Yay. Just like when you say Tube Light Bob, I picture a bunch of people in a very corporate boardroom with a water cooler, and they're eating cake, and nobody's talking, and it says, Happy Tube Light Bob Day. And the bulb is just going... Happy Tube Light Bob Day. Yeah, exactly. So that's who's trying to end Mustachio Bristlecone. Mustachio Bristlecone is a 5,000-year-old ancient tree. Though actually, I think the actual date of this tree is unknown. I think the only oldest recorded bristlecone tree in the world is 5,000 years, so Mustachio predates that. Mustachio's been here since the beginning. Yeah. Mustachio is a gigantic bristlecone tree.
You can look in the ancient bristlecone forest for Mustachio.
You can try.
And if you're lucky, maybe you catch a glimpse. Mustachio is the oldest and the largest.
The largest. Yeah.
But they won't tell you. Like the Forest Service knows where Mustachio is. Yeah. There are people who have found Mustachio for sure.
Yes.
But they don't tell you where Mustachio is because, first of all, it would ruin the legend.
It would ruin the legend. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
But second of all, if there are people out there. I'm not naming names. Tube Light Bob.
Tube Light Bob.
Cinderblock.
Cinderblock
Mike.
Steve.
Cinderblock Steve.
Steve and Mike.
Mike. They're brothers.
They're brothers.
Yeah, they're twins. The Cinderblock brothers.
The Cinderblock
twins.
Oh, they got fists that are Cinderblocks.
They would do anything to get their hands on Mustachio Bristlecone and just end the legend.
End the legend with their Cinderblock hands, Steve and Mike. Oof. Anyway.
Steve, Mike, and Bob. They are danger. Danger.
I think they're also minions.
Yeah, I believe they are. And Kevin. Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying.
Anyway, Mustachio bristlecone can be found and can be seen in the ancient bristlecone forest.
Yes.
It's just that it's so vast. There are so many acres that,
it's really hard.
That it's very difficult to find Mustachio, and we're not going to tell you. We know. But we're not going to. Those who know are never going to tell you where Mustachio is, because while Mustachio is tied to every living thing
on Earth
via Mustachio's root system.
Right.
Mustachio is still in one place. Mustachio is a tree. A living tree, but
a living tree. And if you look at bristlecones and you see one that might have a curled mustache, because that's the signature look of Mustachio, this tree has this curled up little mustache. That's the tree. But it plays tricks on you, right? You look at a tree and you go like, is that a mustache? And then you look again and it's not.
It's not a mustache.
But so you never know. So the way the legend works, so you're clear on this holiday, and this should be celebrated by your children, by your grandchildren, by your great-grandchildren, and I will not be satisfied until we put an end to Cinderblock Steve and Mike and Tube Light Bob, and you celebrate Mustachio Bristlecone Day.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people are still celebrating Tube Light Bob everywhere. Everywhere I look.
It doesn't look fun.
Everywhere I look, people are sitting in offices
celebrating Tube Light Bob.
Tube Light Bob.
And Cinderblock
the Cinderblock twins.
Cinderblock twins.
And they're out there,
They're twins, of course they are.
They're sitting there on a Cinderblock wall with a little sign that says, Happy Cinderblock Day. Cinderblock Day.
Yeah.
And I just don't get why are those days so popular?
They shouldn't be.
Everybody knows about those days.
Everybody knows about those. Everybody knows about them.
Everybody knows about those days.
Kids nowadays are literally going, is it Cinderblock Steve and Mike and Tube Light Bob Day?
It's a day?
Which is all on the same day.
It's the same day. It's one day.
Right.
Yeah.
But
same day as Mustachio Bristlecone. It's all they tried to
exactly trying to take over. So it is on May 22nd, and this is how Mustachio Bristlecone Day works. It is exactly 30 days from Earth Day.
Yes.
And the way the magic works is if you on Earth Day go out and plant something, anything at all. You plant something in the ground. It can be the smallest thing in the world. You put a seed in the ground, you go plant. You return to that site in 30 days on May 22nd on Mustachio Bristlecone Day, which has been taken over by, the Cinderblocks and monsters. But if you go out and you look at where you planted, there's usually like a piece of candy. There's like a little trinket. There's a little toy. There's a gift from Mustachio that's been left because his vines, they reach all the way through the earth.
Everywhere.
And he can go right where you planted something and he says thank you. That's his way of saying thank you. So it's a really magical thing to experience because my kids, when we go plant something, and sure enough, on Mustachio Bristlecone Day, they go out and they see a gift for them and they celebrate and they go, it's real. It's really happening. The Mustachio Bristlecone magic is here because I gave to the earth and Mustachio gave back to me. Mm-hmm. It's really special.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, here's the trick about it. It's a difficult thing. And
yeah,
this is where a lot of children, and this, and stupid Tube Light Bob takes advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, this has been squashed.
It's if you plant something and then ignore it and the thing you've planted doesn't survive, then those 30 days later when Mustachio Bristlecone does his search through the earth to see what's been planted, he doesn't know it's there because it's died. Yeah. Right? So you have to keep it alive for that month. You've got to make sure that this plant actually settles in and becomes part of the earth.
Which is difficult to do sometimes because we've had Mustachio Bristlecone days where our plant didn't survive. Yeah. And it was like, Mustachio wants to give us something, but he can't find you.
Can't find you because there's no
life, nothing
there.
Sparked.
So take care of your plants. Yep. When you plant them, make sure they they settle into where they've been planted and that they find themselves.
Yep. And there's 3 things that Mustachio loves for you to do, kind of a tradition on the day, which is to go for a walk outside. Go for a walk outside. Water your planted item, put some water to the earth. And then the last thing is to observe something in nature, a living thing. So whether it's a squirrel, bird, something, it can be an insect, but just observe it, just look and admire it. Those are the 3 things that are kind of the traditional Mustachio Bristlecone things that you're supposed to do. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure we put that up top because, it's a big day and really we won't rest until we put an end to Tube Light Bob and Cinderblock Steve and Mike. Yeah. They're strong. They're mighty.
They are. They have the power of corporate America and Grayskull behind them. Well, the power of Grayskull is the power of corporate America. Yeah, right. Really, if you break it down. But
if you break it down, He-Man was a corporate guy.
Absolutely.
He was He-Man.
He's a corporate hero.
Yeah, corporate.
He-Man.
He-Man.
Come on.
The good guy was Skeletor.
Yeah. Skeletor is trying to put an end to He-Man.
Trying to stop him. Trying to stop big business.
Poor Beast Man and what's that guy with the fish face?
Fish face, fish face, McGillicuddy.
Yeah, that's right. Those poor guys are out there getting beat up by He-Man all the time, and all they're trying to do, literally, Beastman's like he's part beast, part of the earth, comes from the nature.
He's an animal. The fish face, he was going for a swim, and you know why He-Man picks on them all? Because he doesn't think they're good looking like he is. He's like, I'm so handsome.
Oh, look at me. I'm blonde and strong and tall.
Look at me.
I'm literally a prince when I put my sword back in my holster.
Yeah, right. And I have a cat that turns into this big old mighty,
Battle cat.
that I ride. Yeah, he's a spoiled brat.
He's a spoiled brat.
Agreed.
He-Man.
I love it. I hope there's
love
no.
that we took this out on
I know.
He-Man.
I took it out on He-Man. This is all part of the humor of the show. If you're a child
actually
that's sitting
really
in the,
enjoyed He-Man.
Yeah, I did too. I was a huge fan, and we're totally joking. We like to get really playful and silly, especially when we get excited about Mustachio.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting in the back car and you're wearing like He-Man themed pajamas, or you've got a He-Man toy in your hands, you can continue to love He-Man. We grew up loving He-Man. He was a great character.
Tila was one of my first crushes.
Oh, absolutely.
What a babe.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
Wow. Wowie zowie.
Wowie zowie.
Wowie zowie.
Yeah, totally.
All right, guys. We ready for our Earth Day quiz?
Yeah. Let's do this. Let's get after it.
Okay. Today's theme,
theme.
The Earth Day theme this year is actually a continuation of last year. It's invest in our planet.
It's a little lazy.
I know.
It's a little lazy.
I got to be honest with you guys with Earth Day, earthday.org.
Yeah.
Love your work.
Love your work.
Love what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
But I looked up the theme of this year, and all the material kept saying 2022.
They didn't even update them.
And then I know, and then I found one that was 2023, and I was like, wait a second, why would they both say the same theme? And then I realized they had a theme last year in 2022 of invest in our planet, and then I looked, and they were like in a press release in the fall, they were like, we're going to continue with the same theme in 2023, and so they just kept the same theme. So, little lazy.
Oh my God.
I know who's not planting anything and getting anything from Mustachio Bristlecombe because you're lazy.
This is why you get your kicked.
Yeah, that's right. Because you're a feel good hug the tree person. But you got to come up with a new theme.
You wonder why you get your butt kicked by corporate America.
Yeah,
You're not even trying.
Come on.
You have to try harder.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God. What?
Invest in our planet, part 2.
What?
I know.
This is absurd.
This is constructive criticism. Do better.
Don't suck so hard.
Just come up with a new theme for Earth Day, you guys. It's not that hard.
I can't.
I mean, you and I sat here and we basically said, end
Crime Forever. Oh, that's a different show.
Yeah, a different show.
Yeah.
End Cinderblock Steve and Mike.
Yeah.
And we came up with that right now.
Yeah.
That's the theme.
That's a theme. That's a better theme.
It's a better theme than Invest in Our Planet Part 2. Yeah. So anyway.
And they didn't even update the website.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I was on the website, it still said 2022 in some spaces. Like somebody on the web team missed some numbers.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
We've established this pretty consistently on this show.
Mm-hmm. And we've been podcasting since 1823, mind you.
100 years.
100 years.
Quality content.
Yes.
Yeah.
200 years.
Oh my God, I can't even count. I've been doing it so long, I forgot how to count. This is how long we've been doing this. This is just, Jacob, over all these years, your mind gets a little dulled.
Yeah, I get it.
It gets dulled. After year 137, you slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know how you combat that?
How?
By working harder than the other guy.
Yeah. You come
That's
up with
how
a theme.
you combat that. Mm-hmm. And the thing that we have very consistently over the last 200 years been talking about on the show is that even when you think that corporate America is with you because of the virtue signaling that they like to do in order to say we're on
greenwashing.
They are still only interested in themselves.
Yeah.
They're still only interested in the profit and the dollar. Yeah. I sound like such a hippie.
No, you
but
are.
But the fact of the matter is,
if
you break it down, it's true. Yeah. Right? Their job, and I'm not even gonna blame them for it.
They're coming for you right now. You can hear the sirens. They're coming. They're coming.
Here comes Cinderblock Steve and Mike. With their cinder block hands to beat the piss out of me.
We have his location.
They do. And Tube Light Bob's just gonna crackle in the background.
Yep.
No, they're going to do whatever they can do to make more money. That's why they were formed. That's why they exist. You shouldn't be mad at them about it. That's the stated purpose.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't walk in and tell you what to do. It's like the Trump thing that drives people. Like the thing that makes people craziest about Trump is that he tells you exactly what he thinks.
Yeah,
And exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, no, you're supposed to do that secretly.
Yeah,
You're supposed to do that on the down
Do
low.
it on the down low. That's what everybody else does.
And then say that you're doing the good thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm just going to
do the thing I wanna
I'm going to
do.
give this money to this other country, and then I'm going to give them access to stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't tell people you're doing it. He's like, no, we're going to tell people we're going to do. We're doing it. And you can't stop me, because if you do, then they have to stop you, and you won't let them. And then so this is this is the thing.
I love that the Earth Day quiz has got Noel talking about Trump. That is hilarious. That is so great. We opened it up, guys. We opened it up.
The
floodgates are open. Floodgates are open.
So
it's okay.
What I'm saying is they have the resources and the money and the desire to keep doing whatever they want, whether or not it's good for the environment. Sometimes it can be. A lot of times it's not.
Right.
So the very least you can do when you are minuscule in size and completely less influential is try. Could we at least try?
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
I mean, at least put 2023.
Yeah. At least update the website, guys.
I mean, I just almost dropped the biggest F-bomb in the world. For blank's sake.
Yes.
Try. Golly.
Oh, boy.
All right, rant over.
All right, rant over. We love you, Earth Day. Take care of the planet.
We do. We're promoting Earth Day.
We're promoting Earth
just
Day,
a little
but
frustrated.
he's just frustrated that they're not updating their quizzes. You know?
Well, updating their theme.
Their theme in general. Yeah, it's true. It should say 2023 at least.
I mean, if you're gonna update your theme, that's one thing. It's one thing.
It's one thing.
We've had a new topic about the environment for 200 years every single episode.
I know, and
they could come up with a new theme.
Somebody at Earth Day org was like, we printed up all these pamphlets that say invest in our planet, and we didn't use any of them last year.
Nobody invested in the planet.
Nobody invested in the planet. We got to do it again. So it's interesting because this is all about like investing, and so this does tie into what you were talking about. So it's interesting. So let's see how well we do.
Let's see how well we do.
Okay.
On the quiz that was the same as last year, so we probably know all the answers.
Okay. Okay, you're gonna get an A, B, C, or D, and you get to pick which you think.
Are we gonna take turns doing this, or
sure. Or we can come to the decision together
as a team.
Yeah, let's try to do that.
Okay.
How much do you know about Earth Day? Here are some top terms you should know. Mm-hmm. What are the 3 pillars of Earth Day's theme, Invest in Our Planet? Okay, these are the 3 pillars. Okay. A, education, engagement, and involvement. Okay. B, business, governments, and individuals. C, action, innovation, implementation. D, friends, French fries, and forests.
I mean, obviously it's D.
Obviously. It's very, very clearly D.
It's clearly D.
Of course. It's got to be
the 3 pillars.
The 3 pillars of Earth Day's theme, invest in our planet. These are the 3 pillars they focus on for this. Invest in our planet.
Yeah.
Do we want to give a real answer, or do we want to just go with D? You're going to go with, you think C is what you're feeling? Action, innovation, implementation. Mm-hmm. That feels very Earth Day kind of thing for 3 pillars, but what are you feeling?
What's the first one again?
First one is education, engagement, and involvement. Second one is business, governments, and individuals.
Yeah. I'm going to go with A.
Going with A.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to second Ronnie on this one. I think the action, innovation, implementation. That just seems like I don't know. Seems like the right idea. And the answer is B. None of us were right.
Yeah.
What?
Business, governments, and individuals.
Oh my God, they sold out.
No, listen, wait. Before we criticize them, using the 3 pillars of business, governments, and individuals, EarthDay.org's 2023 Earth Day theme, Invest in Our Planet, will collectively engage more than 1 billion people, governments, and businesses to recognize responsibility and to help the world transition to an equitable, prosperous, green economy for all. Everyone accounted for and everyone accountable. So those are the 3 pillars. They're going to focus on businesses, governments, and individuals to focus on the earth.
Okay. Let's see if it works the second time around.
Yeah, right? It didn't work last year. Okay. Next up. Number 2, not in the toilet. One way for
Thank
you.
God.
Thank goodness.
I almost did.
I know.
Yeah.
One way for you to invest in our planet is to engage with corporations that have a positive influence on the world by supporting volunteering or ethically oriented business practices. What is this practice called? A, being nice. B, price gouging. C, corporate social responsibility. I thought this was going to be a happy, feel-good episode. This is ruffling Noel's feathers.
Go ahead.
D, unethical behavior. So the practice of engaging with corporations that have a positive influence on the world by supporting volunteering or ethically oriented business practices. Which one is it?
I mean, it's C, but
It's clearly C. It feels like corporate social responsibility is going to be the word.
that's what they call it.
Yeah. Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay. What do you think, Ronnie? Do you think probably that one? You don't think it's price gouging? Okay.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Also
okay.
price gouging.
Okay. Corporate social responsibility, or CSR, is the practice of the concept that businesses have a responsibility to do good. This can be done through reducing carbon footprints, participating in fair trade goods, having a push for diversity, equity, and inclusion, or any other socially and environmentally conscious investments.
You remember that song by Real Big Fish?
Huh?
Remember that song by Real Big Fish? Sell out with me.
me,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sell out with me tonight. Record company's gonna give me lots of money and everything's gonna be all right. Da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Go ahead.
Well, I want to know, so it is supporting like the businesses that do the right thing. Is that bad?
No, I mean, look, if the business is going to do something that helps the cause, then that's great.
Yes.
That's
yes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
But you don't need to support. You just need to keep demanding that the businesses do that.
Right.
It's just that the businesses don't. The businesses do what they want to do, and then they tell you what they want you to hear.
Yeah.
That's my general experience in this industry.
Yes, is that it's really hard to weed out what is really being done in support of the earth, and as opposed to being support for profit.
Yeah. Look, on the bright side, because of all this, you are forcing lots of these companies to invest in a lot more renewable technology, right? And you're forcing them to get away from get away from fossil fuels. And there's a lot of really good things that are happening from that.
Yeah.
But these companies aren't looking at the next step down, the next thing they're being told, like, hey, if you buy some solar panels, the people will say you're green and they'll buy more of your stuff. Yeah. They'll shut up, which can be aligned with you, except that at some point we're going to have a bunch of solar panels in landfills polluting all the it isn't as if these companies are taking a minute to look at, okay, well, if we actually wanted to be socially responsible. Yeah. And the thing about it is that it's the socially responsible part of it too. It's not it's a very easy way to trick people into thinking you're doing well. The prime example is Amazon. Right. Who are corporate, like their corporate social responsibility ranking is through the roof. Like people are like, oh, they're so responsible socially. Right. Because they'll put up the banner that says that Black Lives Matter. They'll tell you that they believe it. Yeah. But that doesn't stop them from crushing the unions that would actually get those, get those Black Lives to matter more. Right. To actually be able to take care of yourself, to be responsible for yourself.
It's a lot of virtue signaling, is what you're saying.
I mean, I just don't. I'm not a fan of it because it's a really good way for companies to hide what they're actually up to. Right. They can lie to you. Right. By putting up some solar panels. Right. They can lie to you by saying, we really support this group. We agree with transgender rights. Yeah. Which great, you should. Like you can have great. You should support Black lives, right? This is really great. Yeah. But what are you doing to actually help them? Right. And if your actions are the opposite, then are you socially responsible? Yeah. No, you're a piece of shit.
Wow. Bleep. Write that one down.
I'm sorry.
No, and I think that's fair.
And I look at Earth Day. Yeah. And this is supposed to be an organization that's about the Earth. Right. And that's about like holding people accountable. Right. That's supposed to be helping the planet. That's supposed to be on the side of the planet. Right. And by literally promoting to us what corporate social responsibility is,
Yeah.
and by telling us we're going to work with governments and businesses and individuals,
Yeah.
you're literally telling me that this was written by corporate America.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're reading a quiz from corporate America, and they didn't, by the way, bother to update the website.
Right. That went down. So
I'm having a hard day today on Earth Day because
so-
I'm really upset with the
Okay.
organization.
So, but let's do since we
trying to
are
be
since we
positive.
are
I'm
yin.
sorry.
No.
I'm
Since
sorry.
we are yin and yang, let's try this for a second. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
just.
I'm with you. I'm
No,
sorry. I'm
let's-
sorry. I just
let's-
got triggered.
No, I know. So I think
sorry.
it's fair. So I want to call out the Amazon, and there are businesses that are problematic, and that's a big one. And it's definitely like a sore subject and a sensitive subject because it's something that we talk about often, and it's come up time and time again. And I know about the horrible treatment of people who work for Amazon and like work ridiculous hours and don't get paid enough. And there's
They
a
have
lot
to
of
pee in bottles in their car because they've got a tracking monitor on their arm
terrible things.
to tell you how long you can be working or how long you cannot be working.
Right,
That's just
right.
absurd.
It is. And so, but on the flip side, let's put Amazon on the table for a second and assume that I think I saw the other day that Chipotle was going to invest in renewable technology, and they're getting solar panels and all that stuff. But let's hope that outside of the Amazons, that the drive, the initiative for businesses, big companies that have built buildings all over the country, that this pressure from Earth Day or from people and companies to go green, not the landfill stuff, not the things that come up to be a problem, but them going, okay, we're going to really, really strive to have less waste in going into landfills, plastic and single-use plastics that go into landfills. We're gonna dial that back. And as you go into more of these places, you can see it's coming up more and more from paper straws to different containers to solutions, so we're not seeing the landfills full. So that's one. And then two is, okay, we've been using way too much water. We need to be using gray water, especially when we're cleaning things. And so there's a lot of businesses that are starting to incorporate the good things and the good practices. So let's hope that with every Amazon, there is a Chipotle or there is a business that is trying to do the right thing, and it's going to work in the right direction, even though we are fighting an uphill battle, and there are the devils in the businesses, and there's the devils in the corporate world, but maybe half of them aren't bad.
That's nice.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna
let you speak to it.
I'm gonna agree to
Disagree
to the positives that are there. I will.
Okay.
I do think that the general push of better
Business.
environmental options or responsibility for businesses is good.
Yeah.
It's not that, and I guess going on my rant, it definitely makes it seem like I'm totally anti all of it. It's not that I'm probably getting it a little extreme. I'm glad that there is a virtue signal to some degree, because with that you have to do something. You can't do nothing.
Right.
You've got to put something out there and make an effort.
Right.
So I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. I think that's not what's irritating me quite as much as the fact that the groups who created the conditions that made this need to virtue signal in the first place are now owned by the people they're supposed to be holding to account.
Yeah, and I want to speak to that because we've mentioned it briefly to the show. So this is why it's such a hot topic. As we learned a while ago, and we mentioned it briefly on the show, there is this score that Noel mentioned that Amazon has. And I forget what the name of the score.
ESG.
The ESG. And the ESG is given for your environmental
social governance.
Okay, environmental social governance. And they give it to companies to basically say you have a great score. And that can be fudged. That can be that you can have companies that are really not doing the best things for the world. And because they hit a couple check boxes on the list, they get a fantastic ESG score. And so everybody's like, oh, well, good for you. You're green. You're social justice. You're taking care of the little guy. but it's kind of a farce. It's kind of a lie. It's not true. And it's given to people that have a lot of money and a lot of sway and a lot of power. And it's not given to the brick and mortar store that's trying to make shoes out of toilet paper rolls, you know what I mean? It's not, it's not given to those people because they're just trying to find their way through.
Right. Well, a small business that serves its community, that employs people in its community, that shares the good times with their employees and has employees who love the company and work through the bad times with the company to try to make it work.
Yeah.
They're not, they're not even on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there is something so, look, it is so much more valuable to the environment to shop locally, to walk down the street to your local place and get the local
it is.
products that were gathered by your small business nearby.
Yeah.
It's just better completely.
Yeah.
That kind of set to the side. ESG it's a funny thing, right?
Yeah.
Because Tesla's rated quite lowly and Amazon's rated quite highly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Tesla should be rated higher than Amazon because Tesla has its own problems. But if you figure that the fact that everybody on Earth is about to have an electric car, it is because of Tesla.
Right,
That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. They changed the game.
Yes.
100%.
Period. So you would think that would raise an environmental governance score pretty high. Right? But it gets lowered because they don't seem to have the social side of interest at all. It's not something that they care about.
Right.
And it's not something they speak to. And in fact, I think there could be an argument made recently that their owner even kind of pushes back in some ways that really frustrate a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think those are fair arguments.
Yeah, myself included.
So, right, no, look, and
yeah.
I think those you should have those conversations.
Yeah,
We should have those conversations. We should talk about why something is frustrating. I'm not against.
I agree.
Having those conversations.
I want you to share this. I really do. Yeah. This is good. We're digging in, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I love it.
I just think that I believe that one is as valuable as the other, and that that Amazon and Tesla should be equally as beaten down as they are lifted up by the things that they do that help one way or the other way. But this score isn't determined by any kind of really truly accountable organization. They govern themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the thing this is why I'm irritated by the quiz.
You're irritated that Earth Day sounds like they're participating in ESGs.
They sound bought.
They sound bought.
This whole thing sounds bought.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it was written by
somebody doing ESG scores.
The folks who are trying to get you to support what companies are doing.
Yeah.
And again, some of it is great. I'm not going to get angry that you're trying to reduce your waste. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get angry that you're trying to find renewable energy. That's great.
Right,
I want the companies to do this.
Yes, yes.
But the reason that they're doing it is because there was a huge social movement that was pushed by organizations like earthday.org.
Yeah, yeah.
And if earthday.org is now part of the government corporate system, then tomorrow's problems will not be fought.
Yes, yes. Okay. So let's hope, for the sake of hope and believing in good things, let's hope this. Let's hope that earthday.org was not bought. Let's hope that they are still fighting the good fight. And the only reason that this quiz exists is because they hired the wrong person to do the quiz. They have somebody putting the quiz out there that thinks this is the right move. But that this organization that's been going for 53 years, that's been, standing up for the right things and reducing waste and helping the environment and not focused on ESGs. But let's just hope, our hope and belief. And if somebody from earthday.org wants to reach out and defend and stand their ground and come on the show and talk to us about what they're doing and what this means, then we are all for it. But
we'll be nice.
We'll be nice. I'll tell Noel to have a margarita and sit back and relax. And so, but it is fine because your opinion matters and people's opinion matters and their voices need to be heard. And these are the conversations that we have off the air.
Yeah.
These are the conversations that we have off the air. And I brought this in today to be like, hey, cool, they're going to help
It's
this
a bright, fun, funny thing, right? I know, I'm sorry.
No. Hey. We've had this happen in other shows, and I'm not bothered by it this time in the slightest because we're got to be telling the truth, right? So if you're driving in your car and you're like, hey, man, Earth Day's tomorrow, and I thought I was, doing the right thing, and I didn't know Earth Day was also bought.
I'm not mad at Earth Day. I'm mad at
the organization. Yeah. He's
I think Earth Day is wonderful. Keep at it. Mustachio Bristlegun's coming. Do
He's
your
coming.
thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so you know what? Sometimes you get riled up and you say a bunch of things, and then it sounds like you have this whole kind of opinion that's one way. It's not. There's one thing that's bugging me, and so it got me on a rant.
Well, and
I love Earth Day.
Yeah, and people make fun of, because these buzzwords that come around like cancel or whatever, but trigger is a very efficient, effective word to describe something that we didn't use until the past couple of years. When people say like, you're triggered, it's usually an insult like, oh, what are you triggered, bro? Yeah. But there actually
the answer is yes.
Yeah. The answer is yes. No, but the truth of the matter is that's a really good word because it happens. It happens. We all get triggered. I don't care what side of the political fence you stand on. I'm just talking as a human being. Have you ever been in a fight with your sibling or a parent or your spouse or somebody and they say one thing and you explode like somebody just pulled that trigger? And the truth is, we all have these things in us, and then you react, and they're like, wow, I didn't know that was such a problem. Yeah. And you're like, well, I was triggered. Yeah. I have a lot of other things going on up here that I think about over and over and over again, and you just happen to touch on something, blow it up, and now I am unleashing a fury.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine. It is. Yeah. It's a
Rube Goldberg. For those of you who don't know, that's when you set something off and it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
So like you don't usually when that happens to you, when somebody just blows up about a thing that's like, why? What? That?
Why? Yeah.
Usually, there are 700 other little tiny things that were triggered before that ever got to the final boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all going, and they're ticking off in the background over time as this happens, and then that happens, and this thing over there happens, and all these things, they add up over time. And then after a minute, you have all of this just like it becomes a weight of just stuff that has been irritating you a little bit. Over a long period of time. And then something that you kind of looked on as like this reliable, wonderful something or other lets you down. And off you go.
We've been in this business. We've been in this game for 200 years. 200 years. Noel has been listening.
I'm not as old as Mustachio Bristlecone, but I'm getting old. There.
And the thing is that for 200 years we've been in the game. That's I corrected from business. We've been in the game, the environmental game, for a hot minute. Mm-hmm. And when you're in this, there's a lot of nonsense in this game. There's a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of people patting each other on the back and saying, good job, and we did it. And it's all for the appearance and the photo and the handshake and the world. America goes, well, looks like this fast food company solved it. That's what's going on. And so when you see that over and over again and to hear terminology that is thrown around, these words, these buzzwords in this quiz, I get it. Yeah. I get it. You go, ugh. Whereas if this quiz had been like, this year we're investing in the planet, you guys need to get off your tuchus and you need to get out there and get your hands in the earth and you need to whatever. And it really sounded like somebody who was like, let's find a way to make a difference in this world in a very organic, natural way without using these like PowerPoint slide 1, PowerPoint slide 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? It would have felt a little different.
Yeah, when you have a huge amount of people and a huge amount of organization in anything, you need the counterbalances. You need something that holds whatever that is to account, right? Like the bigger something is, the bigger the pushback needs to be in order to keep it honest.
Yeah.
And that's I think, we were talking about the Rube Goldberg machine. I think the thing that has been irritating me since COVID basically, because I think that's when, for me, it was most exposed. And I was the last person probably to figure it out. But, if you have a giant, like a giant government like we do, right? And you have giant, powerful, companies that essentially do the work for the government like we do, then the only thing that's going to be able to hold that to account and keep that sort of in check is an honest, actually like disagreeable press that's constantly haranguing it and attacking it and looking for its failures and trying to call it out and trying to beat it and trying to knock it down, right? And America is kind of famous historically for having that. For having this press that's just vicious.
Yeah. We've had movies made about the guys who break the story and bring down the corruption.
Absolutely.
That's a story. That is an American tale.
Yeah, on both governments and on companies, right? Like you find the truth out about how these guys are screwing you, and you bring awareness, you bring light to it, right?
Right.
And I think the thing that's been irritating me over the last little while is you see that there's camps, like our most powerful press, our most powerful newspapers, our most powerful websites, our most powerful news stations. They are literally owned by the companies that are doing the damage.
Yeah.
And so you've got a press that's only going to hold certain things to account. And granted, different organizations hold different things to account, but you don't have just honest, like, I'm digging in to see the problem, to find the problem, and I don't care politically what the problem is.
Yeah.
I just see wrong.
Right.
And someone needs to find out about what this wrong is, and we need to ask the questions that this person up there doesn't want to answer. And I have to put the pressure on these people to see that we know you're doing this thing.
Yeah.
We know this thing isn't right, and we're going to keep reporting on it and keep haranguing you until you feel like you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
That isn't happening, at least not with our most powerful press organizations anymore. They're only reporting on the things that they're allowed to report on.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what made me mad.
I
think that kind of is the background trigger that you sort of see a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That pushes this kind of thing back. You need to have somebody pushing back.
Yeah. Yeah. So earthday.org being a nonprofit, we hope you guys are still fighting the good fight. Mm-hmm. And and that's what I would like to hear about, and that's what I would be like. That's what I would like to hear. Yeah.
If you were to come on the show and talk to us about what you're doing, is like how are you not connected to these guys?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Which doesn't mean that you can't say, hey, they did a good thing. That's okay. I want to know that they did a good thing.
Yeah.
But I almost feel better when Coke says, quite honestly, that they're not going to stop using plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Because they can't.
Yeah.
It's like to be just brutally honest and to say, we're not. People still want their Coke in plastic bottles, and the environmentally sound plastic bottles that exist would be dissolved by our crazy product.
Yeah.
So they're not going to work. So we can't. That doesn't work for us today.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to do some other things.
Yeah.
I would rather hear that.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of crap for it, and they got a lot of pushback for it, and they were crapped on for it, and and that's they should have been, obviously.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah. Because it's honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's and this is an interesting position we're in on the show. It's an interesting position. You want to know why?
Why? Because we have 7 more questions.
No, we're gonna skip. We're gonna skip the quiz.
We are?
Yeah, I don't think we need to bother. I think that we get it. We get it. Their mission is hold the government, hold industry, and hold people accountable, and invest. In those things that are doing the green thing. We get it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, who cares? Yeah. But I think that this is an interesting crossroads after being on for as long as we have been. Everybody's tired of being lied to. Everybody's tired of glossing up everything. We live in a time where people are like, just shoot straight, man. Like, just tell me what's going on. Like, I need to know. Kids now are watching YouTubers for news. They're watching TikTok for news
Yeah.
because they're really tired of the dog and pony show, of this is happening in the news and this is the craziest thing ever. It's not. It's really not. They're just pointing your gaze on whatever they want you to look at. And this is true. So here we are on this podcast, and the interesting thing is we want to inspire and we want to uplift. We are the beacon of light in a gloomy environment. And a lot of the news stories that exist out there are getting more and more inundated, and it's only grown because green, baby, is getting to be a hot commodity. Mm-hmm. It's getting to be a commodity. It's getting to be big business. People are going, you go green, you go eco-friendly.
Which we called like 75 years ago.
We did. We called it 75 years ago that it was going to become big business. Mm-hmm. And so now the lines are really blurring. They're really blurring because every article I find, you want to celebrate innovation. You want to celebrate a scientist who discovers a new way. I just saw a new way to cool that doesn't require air conditioning. And I see that and I go, awesome. Technology and scientists and brilliant minds out there are coming up with ways that maybe we don't have to run air conditioners as hard and we can find these things to bounce. That's great.
And
I love seeing that.
I think that's important, and I don't want my rant to take away from that. Like, right, it's my opinion is more nuanced than perhaps it seems. I know that one of the best ways to get these innovations to market and to make the planet better is through these giant corporations.
Yeah, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just can't. Because they have the money, they have the resources, and they can find ways to profit off a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And if they can find ways to profit off of it, then that technology will be in our hands and able to, and we can use it.
Yeah.
And that is good for the planet.
Yeah.
We have to do that. That's important, and I don't want big business to disappear. I don't want it to stop doing what it does when it comes to creating new innovative things and finding efficient ways to bring it to market. That is such a valuable, important service. And I do think that the people who are working at these companies are regular, great people who are trying to do their best and who are really proud of the things that they do that raise their ESG scores. And they should be.
Right,
Those are
right.
good things.
Yeah.
Those are good things. It's not my problem. And it sounds like that's my problem. It's not. That's not my problem. You have to, in anything that you do, you have to be willing to have people push back when you're doing something wrong, even if you don't know that you're doing it wrong. Right. Sometimes that's the best, is when you don't know you're doing it wrong and someone is investigating, like, this is happening under your watch. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, it's not. Like, yeah, here's the evidence. Oh my God, this is happening under my watch.
Light shines on it and everybody sees and it gets resolved.
I don't think people are bad. I think people are basically great.
Right.
Even though I say people suck, that's
but no, you are talking about this all boils down, and I'm glad we're digging in because if you've been listening this long in the show and you heard Noel earlier and you were like, oh wow, this is too much or whatever, I hope you stayed till the end because the truth is we're digging into what it was all about. There are a small group of people that continue to profit. They continue to make their billions and billions of dollars off the backs of hardworking, proud, amazing people in this world that are doing their best. They're trying very, very hard. And there's people.
And I think those people should get paid.
And those people should get paid.
More than $15 an hour.
Yes, they should be able to take care of their families and their kids. We believe in that from the bottom of our hearts. And so it gets frustrating whenever the lingo and the language of our environmental push to help the world, because we write this stuff too. This ain't our first rodeo. It's our last rodeo.
It is our last rodeo.
It's the last rodeo we'll ever have.
The sirens are in the background.
This is not our first rodeo. We've done this before. We write the words. We walk the walk, and we know what's going on.
And we F up.
Yes, we do.
We make mistakes.
Absolutely.
We do things wrong.
We do.
And we have to learn and correct and fix it.
Absolutely. And so owning up to your mistakes and being honest about it. And so the core of this was, here's Earth Day coming up, which we think Earth Day is a wonderful thing. 53 years of people celebrating the Earth. Go do it.
Yes.
Go plant plant something, and
Yes.
Mustachio Bristlecone comes to you on May 22nd.
Be one with nature.
Be one with nature. Go for
Get
a
out there.
walk.
Get
go,
after it.
Go for a hike. Plant something. Do volunteer. Go find a group of people that are doing a beach cleanup or a forest cleanup. Go do something to get trash out of this world. Stop running your faucets all the time.
Yes.
You know, like do things to help where we're not using as much and wasting as much. We believe in that.
Yes.
But be wary of what's behind the motivations of things.
Right.
That's all we're saying.
There is nothing wrong if you have the capacity to get governments, businesses, or individuals to invest in the environment, then do it. It's not gonna. I'm not against that. That's not bad. That's good. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I was more upset with the language than I was with because the language tells you what's behind it.
Right.
The concept is fine. I mean, they could have come up with a new one this year.
I love this. And honestly, again, because we are your beacon of light, we're hoping that Earth Day's fine. They just hired a really crappy guy to write the quiz. And this guy is like, I don't know what they're going to want. They're going to want that ESG language. We don't want that ESG language. We want the Earth Day people to be the wild ones. We want you unbridled. We want you brave and bold and fearless.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And so, anyway, I think it was a good, healthy discussion.
I hope so.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I think there's going to be people who are listening to the show and are like, I agree with Noel. And then there's going to be other people who are like, I don't agree with Noel. Yeah. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's why you make a podcast.
Yes.
Because you're getting people to talk about stuff. We got to talk about stuff. I can't come in here every week and go, they're making tires out of potatoes. Isn't that neat? And you go, yeah, that's neat. And we end the show. Yeah. We're not doing that. Yeah. That's after a while you go, well, why are they doing that? Isn't that going to ruin potatoes? you know, like we need to eat potatoes still.
Well, I mean, how am I going to get my hash browns?
Yeah, how am I going to get my hash browns? I don't want to drive on my potatoes.
No.
Right. So you gotta the thing, the innovation has to make sense. It has to be like stepping in the right direction.
Tater tots.
So.
I'm sorry.
No, that was it. That was it.
Yeah. And look, if Earth Day wants to come on, the thing that I would promise, and just
not to yell at them.
No. My voice might go up sometimes, but here the thing is, not like yell at them. Sometimes I get like this when I'm all like up in the high, like jerks do.
Sure.
Like real buttheads. Sometimes I can talk like the real buttheads when they're getting all high, like I'm better than you.
Butthead.
I'm not better than you. I just upset. But no, if Earth Day were to come on, and we do sincerely, we would be very happy to have you on.
Sure.
The thing that we do on this podcast is we don't edit you down.
Yeah, we don't.
We'd have a conversation, and you'd get to just talk,
you'd
get to say what you want, and we'd be here for an hour.
Yeah.
Chatting, so you'd have plenty of time to put the context in and to explain your point of view and to show me how I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Hey, it's what you feel, man. It's what you feel. It's what drives your heart, and I think it comes from a good place, right? Like getting upset by that language means that Noel really cares about the planet and wants you to stop BSing.
Yeah.
Stop BSing. Stop pretending.
And I care about the social governance too, the social aspect. It's just that for me, the most important part about the social thing is that you have to empower people so that they can take care of their problem in their area, and the thing that matters to them.
Yeah.
Because different people have different social issues that are important to them that they want to be able to fight for. They want to be able to do something about.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of government or corporate responsibility that's ever going to handle, Ma Douglas's problem with something down the street, right? Need
that's a community.
Ma and Pops Douglas need to have the resources to be able to fix their problems.
Yeah.
They just and you can't do that with a sign.
Yeah.
You can't. That's you do that by paying a person what they deserve for their work.
Yeah.
So that they've got the money to go fight their problems.
Right.
That's my take on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
I freaking love it, dude. Anyway, forget this quiz. You guys figure out a new theme and another quiz next year.
This is how you know that
love
this
this
show
show.
is truly improvised.
It is
He
truly
goes like, it's
improvised.
going to be fun. We're going to do a quiz. We're going to
It's
talk
gonna be
about jokes.
quiz. I was just talking to Tara before, and I was like, "We're gonna do an earthquake quiz," and she was like, "Oh, cool, that'll be fun." And it's hilarious because I
derailed it.
wouldn't have it any other way.
I
Because
derailed it like
because-
Norfolk Southern derailed their train in East Palestine. I'm so
derailed it. I love it. You know what? You know what? That's what this show just needs us to just strip down bare and just go raw, baby. Go raw. So we're gonna try to do these tags. I think we're gonna be lost as hell.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. This is a great planet.
It is a great planet.
I love all the things that you all are doing. I know you're doing great things. We see what you're sending to us about the cool stuff that you're all everybody. I love our
some
audience.
amazing-
We have the best audience.
Absolutely. There's so many cool
You
conversations
rock.
and things and inspiration out there. So keep it going. Keep being inspired and look past the sign, like look past the signal, see if they're actually putting their money where their mouth is, like see what's going on behind closed doors. That's a good thing. It's always good to question things. We've talked about that a ton on social sustainability and social media and how everybody, like we did on the show, about people just read the article title and like 60% of people don't read the article.
Right.
So there's a lot of news being thrown in your face all the time. So it's good to question it. It's good to ask. It's good to research. If a company says these are the reasons you need to do such and such, if they're telling you to do something, you better check them out. You better take a look. Like, why are they telling you to do these things? Does it profit them? Do they get a lot of money if you do this? Got to ask that question. It's important to know. So,
I mean, over time, you just got to keep asking. You just
gotta ask
keep asking
questions.
questions.
Yeah,
and you
keep
don't
asking
always
questions.
have to be a jerk. Like if there's good news, it's nothing
Celebrate
wrong.
it.
I don't want the press to stop reporting good news.
yeah.
it's not.
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We report good news.
Yeah.
And we will continue to do that.
Good
So-
news is good news. That's great. We
That's
should
great.
keep reporting the good
Yeah,
news.
we do.
I'm just saying, keep asking the questions so that we get more good news.
Yeah. And get rid of the bad stuff. So, anyway, we have been your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Bringing you top quality content since 1823.
Science without the stiffness.
Green without the groaning.
Inspiring fear and love. Love and fear. I can't remember. Fear and love. Fear and love.
Fear and love.
And then
This show, we practice patience.
Yes. This show is about patience.
This show is about patience.
That's why you get that tag. That's have patience.
patient.
Patience. And then
That's good.
I think I have one more, don't I? But this one seems so new to me, and I just don't know.
No?
Yeah.
Is it gone?
I might be gone. We might have to get rid of
I
it.
didn't write it.
No, it's okay. I think that
It might have been when
Did we?
the
I think it
weren't
happened
here.
when you weren't here, and we were like, "Oh, that might be a tag." And then I think last show we just were like, "I don't remember
Right.
what it was."
Oh, yeah, that's right,
So,
that's
yeah.
right.
So we're gonna stop
It's
at
gone.
this show is about patience, and that's always been the rule.
Yeah.
Is that if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick.
Right.
It doesn't stick. It's not a tag.
Yeah, it's not a tag. So with that being said, Veronica, take us home.
The pause. Like when she's looking, she looked
So I
up in
was
the sky.
gonna
The finger forward, like I'm gonna tell you this thing, and then she looked up for a minute.
Okay, your
What?
mouth better be near that microphone.
yes,
What am I
yes,
gonna
yes.
say
Okay.
again?
Put your money. I'm just kidding.
Put your money where your mouth is. That's how you're gonna close
I like
this
the
out.
way you said it. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, it's Earth Day, right?
It's Earth Day. It's Earth Day.
Make every day Earth Day.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Be careful of concrete, Steve and Mike, and Tube Light Bob.
Tube Light Bob.
Yeah.